And a very good evening to all my viewers out there. It is right now Wednesday, September 11th, 2024. It's 9:25 p.m. Eastern Canadian time. And we are here in beautiful Sainte-Anne-de-Bellevue, the western tip of Montreal, the western tip of the island of Montreal. And this is actually the furthest end of Sainte-Anne-de-Bellevue. This is the furthest end. So I'm going to do a walking video here at nighttime through Sainte-Anne-de-Bellevue, heading east towards the 211 bus stop where the MacDonald Terminus is. And I do have the gimbal here. The only issue is, well, my battery is at 23%, and I thought that my power bank was fully charged, but I think I had the wrong one with me. So we're gonna have to do this with about 20% battery, and I'm sure we could do it. And if you're watching this video now, it means that I've successfully completed it with 20% battery or so. And yeah, so another issue I'm having, as you can see, I don't know what's going on. When I shine it near a light, this is like oil or whatever, dust on the lens. I've tried cleaning it as much as I can. It does improve, but then it comes back. It's just, you know, dirt and stuff in the air. It helps a bit, but the issue I'm having is, look at this. When I shine it here and then I shine it away, see that white line that appears? You'll see it again here. See that white line? So I don't know what that is. That seems to be something with the hardware or software of the camera. It's the only issue I have, and it's only with the main rear camera, the one-time zoom camera. And it's only on this side of the camera, and it's only when I'm holding the device like this and moving it away from light in this direction. See it? And doesn't do it on this side. So I don't know what it is. Hopefully nothing major. I don't think it is anything major. I think it's something that can be repaired at the repair shop, hopefully, if it comes to that. Worst case scenario, maybe it's just that single camera that needs replaced. But we'll see. Other than that, it works fine, the camera. It's only when I'm shining it at or near a light and I move in this direction, then that white line appears right about here. So anyways, yeah, so we're going to be making our way east here through the main town. And again, you know, I've tried cleaning the lens off. It was better earlier, but it's just because the air is full of dust and debris, and eventually it comes back again. But it's only noticeable in bright lights, thankfully. And I am recording in, what am I recording in? 60 frames per second. So it's not the maximum quality of video, other than 8K. Well, we got a train coming up here. Perfect timing. And we also have a moon, nice half moon out tonight. It's gonna be loud. There's a Parks Canada vehicle, because this is basically owned by Parks Canada. This is the Sainte-Anne-de-Bellevue locks. Just like the Lachine Canal closer to my area, that's also owned by Parks Canada. So if you were to take this bridge right here, you'd end up going to Ile Perrot, which is that way, and Pincourt and all those areas. And of course, being in Sainte-Anne-de-Bellevue, I'll give a shout out to Jack Casey, aka a bass guy. This is his town, it's where he lives, and of course he's in the process of renovating his apartment, his studio, and looking forward to the Bass Guy show coming back, hopefully not too long from now. but when he's ready, I guess, you know. He's still practicing music and doing photography. In fact, if you go to his website, www.bassguyshow.com, you can see some of those pictures that he's been taking around here. He takes a lot of pictures around town, and all around. Good friend of the channel, good friend of mine, and like I said, he's been taking pictures and videos, and I'll put a link to his channel as well. And yeah, so here we are on the main street, Sainte-Anne-de-Bellevue Street. And yeah, last time I did a walking video here, I think it was daytime. So this is kind of a nighttime perspective, different perspective here. Peter's Cape Cod. This is also where I met Brian. Brian and his wife were here from Waterloo, Ontario, Waterloo, Kitchener area. He was in town earlier this summer. Of course, Kitchener and Waterloo, sort of like Montreal and Laval, they're so close to each other. But yeah, he specifically lives in Kitchener. Yeah, you can tell just by looking at these buildings, these businesses, these houses, whatever. They're pretty old. This is a very old town, very historical town. A lot of history here. And there's the street signs. Rue Sainte-Anne, and this is Christie Street. So for this video, I'll just stay on the main street here, which is Sainte-Anne Boulevard. Or Rue Sainte-Anne. It's not really a boulevard. And like I said, we're walking east. There's the 212 bus stop, and the 212 is the main bus that comes through here. Very small mini bus because, well, the streets here are small. I think this is the town hall here. Yeah, this is the main town hall. Used to be a nice tower up there, but they took it down. Yeah, that's the town hall. And look at this. Looks like a barn. Sort of similar to what you'd see in old Montreal, but on a smaller scale, you know. All kinds of artisan shops and whatnot. And here you got the Subway sandwiches. So Rue Sainte-Anne, or Sainte-Anne Street, as I said, it's the main street here where all the businesses are. But there's a whole other sector to Sainte-Anne-de-Bellevue. Basically right beside me to my left, which is more or less north. That's where you'll find a lot of the houses, residential sector. And there's even another part of Sainte-Anne-de-Bellevue further north that's relatively more new. You know, it is part of Sainte-Anne-de-Bellevue, but I mean, it doesn't resemble the traditional Sainte-Anne-de-Bellevue you see here. It's much more modern, typical suburban houses. And of course the Eco Museum, one of my favorite places to visit, the Eco Museum, where they have different animals that are in and around the local area. Hey, is that a raccoon or it's a cat? That's a big cat. So yeah, the Eco Museum, basically it's animals that have been injured or orphaned or, you know, can't survive in the wild. They take care of them and they educate people about those animals. So One of my favorite places. I haven't been there in a while. This here used to be a theater, the Rex Theater. And most of this knowledge comes from Jack himself. Jack has taken me around this town quite often and told me stories growing up here in the 70s, 80s. So he's also mentioned, a lot of things have changed, but a lot of the structures remain. A lot of structures have been demolished. There was one here that caught fire a few years ago, burned down. And coming up now to, actually not quite yet, soon we'll be coming up to the Couche-Tard, which used to be a gas station originally. So here's where I guess they do a lot of shows and whatnot. And yeah, well, got to show you guys the water. I mean, what is Sainte-Anne-de-Bellevue without seeing the water? At least this part of the water. This is the Boardwalk, Sainte-Anne-de-Bellevue Boardwalk. And over here, to our right, facing west, is technically the lowest point of Sainte-Anne-de-Bellevue. And thanks to Jack for letting me know that fact. The lowest point of Sainte-Anne-de-Bellevue is right here. So pretty cool fact. And water's calm tonight, as you can see. Very beautiful evening. Probably about 15-20 degrees Celsius. I have to do more walking videos here at night, especially in the winter. Very scenic, sort of like a Christmas village. So yeah, battery's at 18% right now. So we should be okay until the 211 bus stop at the MacDonald Terminus, where John Abbott College is. Also met here Caliber, another YouTuber buddy. Shout out to you, Caliber. Alright, so as we make our way east here more, we see here's some more old establishments. Sort of what, an art gallery, or what do they do here? Offer art lessons, life coaching. There's all kinds of different things going on here in the town. And there's the famous Couche-Tard. The famous Couche-Tard. This is where I met Jack for the first time, officially. Or we planned to meet. There's the Couche-Tard. Because the first time we actually met was during the flooding in 2017, I believe, or 2019. And we actually met by accident. He was filming the flood. I was filming the flood. I had no idea who he was. He didn't know who I was. It was only later on that I think he was watching my channel, or I was watching his channel, and we realized, hey, I was standing right beside you. And one of us noticed that, and that's how it started. And from there, I started watching his show. And we actually met for the first time, I think it was last year, or maybe even the year before. Time flies. But yeah, that's really cool, you know. And I watched quite a few of his shows before meeting him in person, so it was kind of cool to meet and see in person somebody you've been watching. It's like watching a TV show or a movie, and then you're meeting a celebrity. But same idea, you know. But anyways, and yeah, we've been good buddies since. And here we are coming up now to Adesso Pizzeria. I've had quite a few pizzas from here. Cross over again in a moment. Here's the old marina. Of course, we are by the water, the St. Lawrence River. So it's kind of surprising with the marina that used to be here closed. I mean, You think a marina would stay around forever at a town, in a town that's by the water, you know? But I guess sign of the times. There's where they stored some boats and other things. I remember during the flooding, the water was right up to that door, halfway mark of that door, or just under the halfway mark. I remember that very clearly. Yeah, I like that little cat lamp up there. All right, let's cross over here. I'm going to show you guys a nice antique shop. Sometimes at nighttime, you're able to see inside stores better than the daytime, you know, because it's illuminated inside and it's dark outside. Yeah, so here's a thrift shop. Yeah, I haven't been in here yet, but I definitely have to check it out. There's some ceiling fans, which I filmed in previous videos, and they always have books here. See what kind of books they have. Oh, look at this! See, this is actually a bookstore. This is all used books. Man, you go in here and you'd probably find anything you want. Oh, look, there's a 212, guys. That's what I was talking about right there. 212 minibus. So yeah, you know, they have all kinds of different books. Look at this, Ancient Pharmacies. The Hidden Truth of Your Name. Wine Atlas, New Zealand Cookbook. Yeah, you know, these are older books, obviously, but if you're like me and you're nostalgic and you love history and reading and literature, this is a great place to check out. And here's the Pizzeria Adesso. And I think Jack told me that he thinks these tables are the original ones from the 70s and 80s. He actually has a picture of the Olympic flame passing through here in 1976 when we had the Summer Olympics. Very cool, right here on the street. All right, so got to pick it up here a bit. Don't want to have the battery die before we get there to the bus stop. What are we at? We're at 16%. So, plus I also want to have a bit of battery, you know, on the way home in case I need it for something. The good news is the gimbal might actually be able to charge my phone. The gimbal acts as battery pack, power bank. I don't know how good it is. I've never used it for that purpose yet. There's the local Legion. Another abandoned shop here. There's a couple of abandoned shops. There's your Truly. This is a dental center. Now, these buildings here, these houses, I don't know about this one, but this one here was an historical building, heritage building. Sometimes you can tell just by the trees how old, you know, property is and whatnot. Look how thick this tree is, how tall it is. All right, so looks like some construction ahead of us here. So this is more or less the eastern tip of Sainte-Anne-de-Bellevue. Next town over is Baie-D'Urfé. And what time is it anyways? It's 9:44 p.m. I'll check the bus schedule when I get there. There's a pumping station. I think it's for pumping sewage. I guess all the water, sewage water here goes east into more towards the center of Montreal, and then is pumped even further east to the water treatment plant. And I think it's Rivière des Prairies. Here is, if you want to pause the video, I'll put the light, I can't turn the flash on. Battery's too low, won't let me. But this is the West Island Heritage Bicycle Trail. So it's kind of cool because it's basically, if you want to take a bike path, it's a theme. You can, if you want to take a bike ride, it's sort of like a bike path, and I guess the theme is old houses and historical structures. Pretty cool. Yeah, there's that lens, that light again. You know, some people have said that it could be from the eclipse, when I filmed the eclipse, but this only started literally within the last week or so. There's the 212. Yep. So I don't know what it is, but it's getting a bit frustrating because, you know, I always want to do the most perfect video as much as possible, and you know, with this thing here, it's kind of annoying. But I'll figure it out and I'll resolve it. Alright, so we're almost at our destination. By the way, if you want to go star watching and look at the stars or do astrophotography, this is a great place to come when the sky is clear. And this is the time of year if you want to do star watching and all that, with or without photography. Well, the skies are usually clear right now, usually autumn into winter. There's not much smog, you know, but yeah, usually the skies are clear. And this is also an area of Montreal where there's very little light pollution. Well, the least light pollution technically is here in the West Island, especially the northern part of Sainte-Anne-de-Bellevue. Probably behind here, north of John Abbott College and McGill University campus that's here. So that's the CEGEP. John Abbott College is a CEGEP, which is a Quebec version of a college. And there's also some buildings that belong to McGill University here, specifically for agriculture, farming. I guess they do farming experiments here and whatnot, and growing crops. Yeah, so much more peaceful here. But past here, this direction, that's where it's really dark, on the other side of the main building coming up here. So you can kind of maybe make out some stars. I don't have the screen on maximum brightness, but you may see a couple here in the video. And almost here at the bus stop. So I'll quickly show you the actual building here, John Abbott College. And then I'm going to cut the video because battery is at 13%. So I'm happy at least we were able to do this walk. 24 minutes almost worth of a walking video. Probably premiere this next Tuesday, as I usually do Tuesday evenings. So there's John Abbott College, the main building, and this here, hey, this is all abandoned. These are all abandoned buildings on the campus. And yeah, here's a nice place to go by the water. Alright guys, so I'm gonna wrap her up here. Bus stop's up ahead. I gotta get my bus pass out here. Check the bus schedule. And yeah, this is where the 211 goes, the 411, 405, and other local routes. The 200, which goes to Fairview from here. It's only certain hours during the day, I think rush hour. And also some EXO buses here that go to Ile Perrot, Pincourt, Vaudreuil. Alright guys, that's a wrap. And actually, is that our bus there? That's definitely a 211 Transit. He's gonna park there. What series is that? It's a hybrid. Is it? Yeah, it's a hybrid. Anyways, gotta go guys. Gotta hopefully catch that bus if it turns into the 211. Alright, see you all soon. Thanks for watching.